Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, which today concerns itself initially with the undead. The presenter has now come to the conclusion that there is life after death and wants some of it, preferably before he dies, so that he might enjoy it. I'm sitting around a table with 8 people, and it's twilight, it's dark-ish, I can see everything, and that's
what you want. That's what you want.
My imagination runs wild.
You want to be scared. You want to be afraid.
Don't tell me what I want. I don't want to be scared. I'm there to see if anything's going to happen. Something happens, I witness it. I say, oh, look at that. There's the thing that happened. I'm not lying.
You didn't see your sleeve being tugged.
I felt it being tugged.
And then you said you did see the sleeve being pulled out.
I looked around, there's nothing there.
No, but you said you saw your cuff being pulled out. That's what you added that yesterday.
What are you, some kind of detective?
No, but that's what you said.
Essentially, she believes that when taking photographs at night with her little compact digital camera, she keeps capturing orbs, which are the spirits of dead people. She was most insistent that this is what they were. Having professed my ignorance of the subject, she told me to go to a site where I could view photographs of Diana Spencer surrounded by orbs. Anyhow, of course I googled orbs and Wikipedia supplied me with the answer. Apparently the proximity of the flash to the lens on a compact camera means that specks of dust and other airborne particles are caught in the photograph, hence the appearance of white overexposed specks in the photograph, the so-called orbs. Some people will believe anything. You see, that's it all poo-pooed right away. That's a perfectly logical scientific explanation for those people.
A man wants to know, did you watch Spotlight last night?
No, I missed it. I'll tell you what. Can I say something to you?
You can.
I don't know if I should say this or not. I didn't watch it, but as I was flicking through the channels, I came across it. And I decided not to watch it, not because I don't like Spotlight. Was it not Let's Talk?
Whatever, yeah.
What do you mean, whatever? They're 2 different programs.
Well, that's who they are.
It was.
Well, I think that's what the man means.
It was Mark Carruthers.
Mark Carruthers. I think that's what he means.
Okay, it was.
Because that was on last night.
Spotlight, Let's Talk, whatever.
They're all the same.
Whatever.
They're all the same.
They're not all the same.
I have decided
Let's Talk is what's called Let's Talk. People come in and talk about politics when they should be out enjoying themselves. Spotlight is an investigative program. They go out and find out what's going on in our community and castigate people who are doing bad things.
Yes.
Right? 2 different things. But I'll tell you what I noticed. I was flicking through the channels looking for something less horrible, and I came across Let's Talk, and I went, oh, there's Let's Talk. And those usual pimply guys sitting there giving out about the health service. So I said, that's enough of that. But then the camera went to Mark Carruthers, and I noticed something. A change in him.
Lost weight?
No, getting older looking.
Oh, he is not.
He is.
He is not.
Do you know why?
No.
Because he has to get up in the morning now. He's doing the morning program, Good Morning Ulster. He has to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I've noticed, he's been doing that now for about 6 months, and I've noticed a change in him. He used to be fresh-faced and beautiful. Now he's beginning to look like us, haggard and old. I say to him now, stop before it's too late. The presenter is often mistaken for a man who cares about cars. The listeners do not know about his rational and unhealthy hatred of Top Gear and everybody on it, nor do the listeners know that he advocates the elimination of all petrol heads north of the equator. Instead, he is nice to people and helps them locate the vehicle of their choice.
I'm looking to see whether or not you have any listeners has garage to see whether or not they have any courses from 2003 to 2005.
What was that? What was that again? Sorry. Any?
I'm looking to know if there's any listeners, like a garage, that have from 2003 to 2005 wee Corsa.
A Corsa?
Oh.
I thought you said corsets. That's 2005 corsets. I said, where would you get 2,000 corsets? Oh, that's a relief. I was panicking in case I had to ask you to say that again. Oh, a Corsa. Oh, I see.
Yes.
What kind of what was a Corsa? Is that a Toyota or something like that?
Is that different from a Corsair?
No, Corsa's different from a Corsair.
Is it?
Ford Corsair. A Corsa is something else. I don't know.
Who made the Corsa?
I don't know who.
It's a Vauxhall Corsa.
Vauxhall Corsa. So you want a 2000 and what?
From 2003 to 2005. It's just my daughter is learning to drive. I'm thinking about getting her one of those. if I can get one.
Why do you want that one in particular? Do you think it's easier to learn to drive in? Or do you just like the car?
I just like the car.
All right, then. Anyone out there, I'm sure you get one of those easily. 2003, 2005, what's 5, 6 years old, 7, 8 years old?
Yeah.
And you probably get that. Jesus, you get that for us. I've got one there. So I'll tell you what. This is why I met a boy the other day, and Jesus says to me, says, you know what you never see now? You never see a 2004 Corsa. And I says, I know this curry. This curry's looking one. And there you are now. I'll give you £100, yours. 30,000 miles, no, just a one-woman driver. And hardly put a foot in it. And overhead camshaft, fuel injection, and the big end's gone, but she's fixed now. And carburetor replaced. I'll see what I can do for you. All right, then. I'll see what we'll put the call. No, don't be frightened. It's all right. We'll put the call out for that. Anyone out there knows where they can get their hands on a Corsa, 2003, 2005. Let us know. And reasonably priced, I'm sure.
Yes.
Reasonably priced. And in good condition.
Yes, on reasonable mileage.
Just the one. There's low mileage. You got genuine mileage. Genuine mileage or the other sort. Just a one-woman driver. Just a nun she was. She hardly drove it at all. Right then.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I think she was frightened of me. The presenter has long harboured notions of becoming a poet, but lack of talent always seemed to hold him back. Not being a man to give up, he gamely soldiers on in the hope that some manner of muse may strike him. Anyway, I've got this little verse here. I wanted you to read it in Nadine Coyle's voice, but I realised that you're not well. And that you couldn't do Gregory Campbell yesterday because you had a coughing fit. And I realised that whenever you do an impression, you must be, your throat must be free of all obstructions. So
I let a big, horrible, ignorant cough out of me last night.
Did you?
I went out to see the second half of the Manchester United-Chelsea.
And how did the lads fare at the end, the final whistle?
Chelsea won.
Dearie me.
And I was sitting in the club, and there was very few in, and it was nice and quiet.
What club is this?
Derry City Social Club. Right? And I was sitting there.
All pensioners?
I was sitting at the bar, and
Yes.
there was no roaring or growling or shouting.
Guldering.
Right?
Yeah.
And actually, the TV was turned down quite low. You couldn't hear.
That's what happens with pensioners.
And we were just sitting and watching it, and I cleared my throat.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do it.
Give us an example of what
Well,
you
I'm
did.
sitting there with my bottle of stout, right? And I went, and these heads turned around, and I didn't mean it. It's becoming a habit now.
Yeah,
it's
see, that's what happens. My father used to have a cough like that. My father had a very individual cough. And every once in a while, my father used to work, but every once in a while, he would kind of take a day off and not tell anybody. And he'd go to the matinee, the movies, maybe on a Tuesday or Wednesday. He'd actually mitch work and go to the movies. At that time, I was at school, you see, and we used to always go to the movies every afternoon. We used to be in the movies every day at 3:30 until 5:30. It was only like threepence to get in, whatever it was. So we'd be in the movies, and there'd be a lot of people used to go to the matinee at that time because, of course, nobody had any jobs. And you'd be sitting there, and suddenly you'd hear from the back, and I'd go, Jesus, boys, there's me dad. I used to recognise him by his cough. Anyway, I was looking at this piece of doggerel. I said to myself, a lot of the poetry that I myself have constructed is remarkably free of rhymes. So I said to myself, I wonder if I can get into the facility of rhyming, perhaps more people will read my books and maybe understand what I'm trying to say. So this young lady, Alison Smith, sent me this piece of doggerel, and it's alliterative in a way. So I thought I'd read it for you now, if you have a little patience. Will I read it for you?
Please.
Fenian Fergal from Forkhill fought Fabian from Fintona on a Friday in February for a frost-free fridge freezer. Could anyone inform me if the fight between Fenian Fergal from Forkhill and Fabian from Fintona is for the frost-free fridge freezer that sat outside Frank the Farrier's frozen food flea market in Feeney, or if indeed it did not sit outside the frozen food free market in Feeney and some other location, or indeed Is it the one that Flo from Florence Court fed 5,000 furry friends from in the fields last Friday on the Flock Road in Florence Court? I'd love to go, but fear it's not free. It'll cost me a fortune in funds for the family to feed on the frenzy for fun at the fight of Fenian Fergal from Fork Hill and Fabian from Fintona on Friday the 15th of February for a frost-free fridge freezer. The brutal and unprincipled animal world evolves in parallel to our own civilized existence, but every once in a while the boundaries are blurred. Take, for example, this anthropomorphic tale of two goats of similar bent.
What about the good news?
What good news is that?
The good news it's on one.
Good news it's on one? Hello, good morning, good news on one.
Hello, Jerry.
Geordie, how are you?
The very best.
What good news is this, I hear?
Whitey.
Yes, pardon?
Whitey, my wee buck goat.
Yes.
He got his house your pa yesterday.
Did he? Did he or did she? He? He got his how your father yesterday.
Yes.
Right then. Okay.
A wee nanny come the whole road from Lisburn.
I'm sure it did.
And the tail was wagging.
I'm sure it was. You
But
see,
the camera was on her.
that's what we like to hear. Did anyone bring this small nanny?
Oh, they did, yes. And a lovely trailer and all.
Mm-hmm. Well, were you expecting this tail wagging?
Well, they phoned me up. They said they were on their way.
Did you warn Whitey at all?
Well, I got him in. He's over the fields and I called him.
Got him a pack of fags. Did you call him over?
Aye.
And what did you say?
He says, here.
What do you see what's coming in a trailer?
There's a job for you here.
All right. And what does Whitey charge these days?
£10.
Sorry, it seems reasonable enough to me.
But then I give a guarantee.
Did he?
I give a guarantee.
What's the guarantee?
No kid, no fee.
I think people should do that on the altar. You know, when they get married. No,
What?
really. They should. See, when people get married in
I
registry
give
office,
a guarantee.
they should
No
stand
kid,
there. Do you
no
take this
fee.
woman to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
Do you take this man to be your lawful wedded husband? I do. And remember, no kid, no fee. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.